lid is off. I don't even care. The lid is off. The lid is gone. Mate, this is your boy Joe. Welcome to the Standouts. And this is my round 9 team review. Stay tuned. It's going to be an absolute ripping one. Stay tuned, guys. Oh my God, where's my banner? Where's my banner? I'm too excited. G'day, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Standouts. Yes, as you can tell, I'm just a wee bit excited. The lid is off. One to go with something a little bit different because I really am excited. I can't believe we got the win. You guys would have seen me in the stream. I had zero optimism towards this game whatsoever. I have been let down way too many times by my boys, but they came up clutch against a nigh full strength Giants team. It is nigh full strength, honestly. Like, with the people that we still have out, without Draper, still wasn't back in the side. Mate, Todd Goldstein at 39 million years of age, and he continues to age like fine wine. And, oh, mate, it is so exciting. Words can't describe. We are third on the mother flipping ladder, ladies and gentlemen. Third. I don't want to talk about when the last time we were third at this point in the season because we ended up getting kicked out of finals that year. But my word, it was a great week. And it was actually a pretty decent week as well. From the Supercoach perspective as well. It is not too shabby, if I may say so myself. We scored a 23-75. And as you guys would have seen, we copped the donut, the sweet, sweet donut, and yet we still almost cracked 2,400. For some reason, my team is better when I don't have a full team. Pretty ridiculous. And of course, the ruckman that I had was the worst premium ruckman of them all, and I still almost cracked the 2,400. We ended up moving up a little bit in the ranks. This I'm not even bothering looking at this point. I'm just playing out the season and trying to do my best to see how high we can finish and continuing to improve the team all around. And I think we're doing an okay job. We're just occasionally missing out on the players who are popping off big time, but we'll get them in time. We're not going to pay. We didn't spend an arm and a leg to get in all of our premiums. I think we've been paying a fair amount. Oh, so excited. All right. Luke Ryan was the guy who came into my team, and it was looking really bad. It was looking really bad for a period of time there. Thankfully, he just pulls out a ridiculous last quarter, and for once, I'm now not on the receiving end of this disgusting, degenerate type of scoring. That is just flat out. There's so much junk. So much waste. It is just, the junk time disposal is just unreal. And his scoring is just, I had to get him in. I absolutely had. I knew he was going to go up in price this week. Plus, you look at his matchup, who has got to come. It's the Saints. And I did not want to wait another week. I didn't want to pay up more than I had to, knowing that I was going to have to bring him in this week. So, welcome aboard, Puke Ryan. Nicky Dacos, he was going to be the backup C to the VC of Bontempelli. Look at that, it's all rhyming. But you don't turn down a 135. You got to play it reasonable, despite the fact that you know that Dacos is going to give it a fair shake, but it's just not worth the extra 12 points. You just don't do that. That would be silly. So anyone who had like a VC on a Gorn into Dacos, congratulations. But yeah, Bont, you take that 100%. Good boy. Houston 89 is, again, a bit of a burn man. We've been calling him a burn man for the last couple of seasons, but he's been burnt by teammates, and it just looks like his game is so much better than the scoring that he dishes out, and it's because all of it is uncontested in nature, and that's really annoying. It's pretty similar to a Whitfield, very uncontested, who I'm actually really happy. Obviously got some attention from Matt Guelphy. Oh, yeah, Guelph, the Prince of Perth. Well done, mate. But he also didn't kill him from a Supercoach perspective. Still managed to get the 100 points, 6 kick-ins if you don't mind. Play it on from all of them. You love to see it. So your Lockie Whitfield did all right under the roof at Marvel, as we anticipated that he would. And then the two North boys, McKercher was the other one that I traded in this week. Look at that. He's even outscoring the Shees, man. How good is that? In slippery conditions up in Darwin, he still managed to rack up a 91. He is playing against my Bombers under the roof at Marvel. So the conditions will obviously be a lot better for him on the day. And I'll also, look, it sucks that Shees was completely lost all kick-ins. He's playing really around the ball, all over the ground. I think that as disappointing as that is, the talent is there and the quality is there, and you just can't deny that. You just feel like at some point he's going to go back behind the ball, because the Fisher is he's just not a good player. But Sheasel should go back eventually, and even if he doesn't go back, I do anticipate he'll score well against the Bombers this week. He just has that outside class, a bit like Josh Kelly, sorry, a bit like Josh Kelly from the Giants, and he did all right. So happy to hold on to Shees. The back line, look, it was okay this week. Got some big scores, got some lower scores. But yeah, look at that. Trading in McKercher, very happy, very happy. He's outscored both Sheasel and Houston this week for me. Very happy with that. Buku was a shock omission for me this week. Very sad. And Marty Hall just appears to be dead. So that's also sucks. Moving to the midfield, Caleb Sarong. I'm so happy in my team, my boy. 150 if you don't mind. What a gun. Absolute gun. Plus, he's got that beautiful buy as well. He is the number one mid. He just is over there at Fremantle. He's just so good. Top 8. Averaging 131 for the season now, if you don't mind. The Bont doing the Bont, playing against Richmond. Merritt had a really slow first half, was copping quite a bit of attention. When you're Zach Merritt and you're finally now getting the reward, the plaudits that you deserve, absolutely being recognized around the competition for the gun that he is, he cops some attention, but he just still works his way into the game. The pressure acts, the tackling, the incredible ball use, which ends up all becoming score assists. Zach Merritt, mate, you are, at this point, the All-Australian captain. You've got to be. Unreal. I know it's only round 9, but hey, there's a sample size there, and you, my friend, are absolutely flying. My captain, oh, captain, my captain. Zach Butters, mate, 147. We knew without Rosie, he's going to have to shoulder a big load, and that he did. The concern was whether or not he was going to cut Mark O'Connor. Didn't stop him. 147, so good. And yeah, one that you really need to be getting into your teams if you haven't got already. Again, like a Sarong, got that juicy buy. Took Miller, someone who traded in, not last week, the week before, pulling out 122 for us. Very, very good. Anything over 120 is a wonderful score from an Uber Primo. Well done to you. And I look at you, Matt Rowell, and you've really let me down, brother. Honestly, this was supposed to be a matchup and conditions that perfectly suit you, and you've only scored me an 83. Very disappointing. Very disappointing. I anticipated a lot more from you, and that was the reason why I traded you in. I traded you in because you were in that hot form plus the run, and unfortunately, just it hasn't been a successful trade-in at this point of the season. To be completely honest with you, he did give me a nice big 130 score when I first traded him in, but outside of that, it's been pretty disappointing. So really hoping that we see a nice, strong bounce back. He is playing against the Cats again in Darwin. Please, Matty Rowell, please don't make me regret trading you in. Tom Green, he came off on a 5 last week, but he's come back now with a vengeance, and he really was a lone hand for the Giants. He was so good. 116, if you don't mind. Welcome back, mate. So happy that you're back on. And it would have been a lot sadder fielding a 65 or a 64. So well done to you, Tommy boy. And Claire Higgsy, back to his big scoring ways with a 105. So happy to have had you on the field. Graham was dropped. If Graham was not dropped, he would have been on the field. So thank you, Graham, for your services, mate. Sweet was in. Sweet was sick. English, 87 against the Tigers. What are you doing? I honestly feel like champion data should be renamed to criminal data. Honestly, like, why is he only scoring 87? His stat line was so much better than that. It is quite shocking, to be completely honest. Of all the premium rucks, of course, English is the one who does the worst. So, very disappointing. Very, very disappointing, to be completely honest with you. Heaney with a 118, mate. He just does Heaney things. Flanders just continues to do Flanders things. Like, these guys are just irresistible at this point, which is incredible. Incredible. Harley Reid with the 59. You've just seen he's really struggling now without Elliot Yeo in the team to feed him the ball so that he can then use that explosive power to then burst through tackles. He's not supposed to be the in and under type of guy, and he's struggling without Yeo in the team. Now, Yo's already missed one. He's probably going to miss this week as well, and there's no guarantee that he's going to be in the following week. So Harley Reid's now got the 59. That massive score is out of his cycle, and he's now got a break even of 134, if you don't mind. Darcy Wilson, Sam Darcy, you two just continue to tick on. It is an absolute joy having both of you boys on my field, in my team. Darcy Wilson, break even of 3, if you don't mind. And you look at his last few scores now, 88, a 126, and a 90 in the last 3. He's just going from strength to strength. Well done. Very happy. Very, very happy. And then Darcy, mate, we called it. We called it early on in the week. Yes, the 49, it sucked against the Hawks, but don't trade him out. So many people were looking to trade him out this week. And I was just like, no, guys, don't do it. He's got a juicy matchup against the Tigers. He will re-kickstart that cash generation. Glad for all the people who listened. Those who didn't, I apologize for you not listening. So 113, absolutely sensational. And his break even now is back down to 36, if you don't mind. So really good to see. And the boy, the man, the myth, the legend, Alex Sexton, he came back. Sexy boy. We're bringing Sexy back. Yeah. To score us 82. Oh, yeah, man. That was so good. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. 82. Exactly what we wanted to see. Hopefully he keeps his spot in the side now. It was a great win over North Melbourne. Hopefully Dimmer Hardwick is feeling up and about it. His break even is still -2, if you don't mind, moving into next week, where he's got the Cats again at Darwin. So that was the team. We copped the donut, and yet we still scored really well. And even with Tim English not being absolutely robbed. So this was how it goes. We're now going to look to next week. What are we going to do? And to be honest, we're just going to continue playing the break-even game, and we're going to continue trying to improve our scores on field. Now, Harley Reid, the break-even game is now not in your favor, my son. You have been a wonderful person to own for a long time. You've now got to 443, if you don't mind, which is absolutely sensational. And someone who I do want to trade in, who does have a really low break even, it is going to be Dane Zorko. He is coming into my side. He's got 117. He's got the role. He has this role, which is disgusting. It's just, but he gets involved in the play a little bit more than Luke Ryan does, but his role is just too damn good. He's got a 117 against the Crows in the draw, and his break even is 45 against Richmond. And I don't want to miss that matchup. So Dane Zorko, get into my side. And Cadman's 12, which we thankfully avoided by having him on the bench. Cadman, now you've tanked your cash generation. I appreciate you for what you have done for us. It has been wonderful to see up until this point. But the time has come to say goodbye. And we're going to go down to the break even. And who are we going to get? There is Joe Richards, who had a wonderful first game, but he's only played one game. I'm going to get in the Breville, the sandwich press. We're going to get the sandwich presser in the side. Why him and not Sullivan? Sullivan, I'm just a little bit concerned with his job security. with a bunch of players, a slew of players, to come back into the side for Collingwood. And so I'm not entirely sure Sullivan actually holds his spot. Plus, he is mid only, and I love having the DPP for Breville, having the mid and forward DPP. Plus, he also is going to be playing against Richmond this week. And if I've actually had a look at his heat map, and his heat map is actually not the worst. Where is it? Heat map. Here it is. Got it open. His heat map isn't the worst. He's playing deep in defense as well as pushing up when he needs to push up, but he is playing in defense, which is obviously really good, a good spot for him to be. And he has some great moments. He does some nice things, and I can see him eventually just turning it around. His time on ground is a little bit low, but he has the capacity to score really well. He does have an earlier bye, but there are a bunch of injuries over there at the Brisbane Lions. And as long as he continues to play his role and keep doing good things for the Lions on the field, don't see why there would be a reason for him to be pushed out ASAP. Now, this is how the team looks. We're going to put English back on the field. If the thing would just scroll and come alive for me. So English comes back on. Livingston is the loop as usual. And I really hope that Jordan Sweet comes back from his sickness. He should. And so that's what it looks like. Now, the cool thing is, because Sexton plays first and Biggie is probably unlikely to be named, unless he is named. But Sexton probably going to be on the field. If Biggie is not named, then we can put the actual emergency. We can take the emergency off you. We can actually loop. Sexton plays first. So we can have a look and see how Sexy Boy does. And if Sexy Boy, emergency, not the sub button. There we go. So if Sexy Boy does well, then we keep that. If not, then we'll put Breville on to play against Richmond, which should be a favorable matchup. Depending on if Graham is named or not, then we might actually go with Graham over Klahisi, playing first game of the round. And then I'm happy to keep this back line as it currently stands. Now, for my VC and C, I have not looked that far at all. I might even do a cheeky Zorko VC. Who's my captain going to be? It could even be a Sarong type. No, it's going to be Ryan. Absolutely, it's got to be Luke Ryan. It's just ridiculous. I've never had a situation where I haven't VC or C'd. Oh, actually, you know what? We'll do Ryan into Merritt. Gonna back in my boy, Zach, to hopefully torch North Melbourne at Marvel Stadium. And that's what it looks like. This is the team as it goes. It's not a very long video because the options really aren't super massive. But I just want to keep playing the break-even game, get that upgrade cadence going. And the amazing thing is, in doing this, what I've done, I've also released a lot of money in the bank to go for next week. Buku Kamis, if he's named, his break-even isn't particularly high. It's still roughly around his average, 55. So Buku Kamis, even if he plays or not, if he doesn't play, he doesn't lose money. If he plays, he probably should stay around about that price anyway. So maybe Kamis is in the trade plans for next week. And then maybe a Graham or whoever pops up. It's probably going to be Joe. Joe's going to come in next week. Smoking Joe, the Collingwood Joe, will come in next week, which will be really cool. Another cheap rookie to get into the side. And we'll just continue upgrading where we find a juicy option. Could even be a Clayton Oliver. I would have loved to have Max Gawn in my side against the Eagles. Oh. What make it happen? Would love to have Max Gawn or even a Clayton Oliver could do really well against the Eagles this week. But yeah, Max Gawn, he absolutely infuriates me. His scoring is just so disgusting. This 111, in my opinion, is just so overs. He's been bailed out back-to-back weeks with late goals in the piece just to inflate his score up at the end. It's just absolutely disgusting. His break even now is 178. I'm just completely betting against this guy. I'm so pissed off with this guy continuing to do what he does. But hey, we haven't been punished this week. We will get him eventually. Not right now. Oh, I'm also pissed off at Rowan Marshall. Stuff you, Rowan Marshall. Where was that when I owned you? But hey, we are not pissed off for long. Our anger this week is very, very shortly lived because of the excitement that I've got around the boys, and the lid is off. It's going to be thrown into the Yarra River, if you don't mind. And if you find it somewhere in Antarctica, it's because Joe's excited about his Bombers this year. And if you hate what I have to say about that, bad luck. Just a little bit of bad luck. It's been a long time since we've been anywhere near as good as what we've been showing, and the team will only get better. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is my round 9 review. Just a little bit excited, just a little bit happy with how things are going. Not necessarily from a Supercoach perspective, but hey, you can't separate Supercoach from football, because there's no Supercoach without football. And football is where it's at. And we are up and about. If you liked what I had to say today and how I went about saying it today, please drop us a like. It would be greatly appreciated. A subscription if you're new. Hit that notification bell to not miss out on any of the videos or live streams that we have pumping out on a regular basis. Monday nights at 7:30 is a live stream, as well as Thursdays at 5:30 for the drive home. We hope to see you in either of those streams, because here at the Centre Bounce, we do the hard work so that you guys don't have to. Bye for now.